Hey. So I actually got around to watching The Lobster. It's a film directed by Yorgos Lanthimos or something like that, and yeah, I've been wanting to check this film out for a very long time. In fact, since like last year. You know, this movie's premiering in festivals and stuff like that, and I remember hearing about it, going like, man, this sounds awesome. I want to watch it. And I finally watched it. I watched a movie. I had to drive like 45 minutes to get to the theater to watch it, because that was the closest theater that was showing it, but I watched it, and yeah, I think it was definitely worth it. Yorgos also made a film called Dogtooth, which was a very interesting film, kind of disturbing, kind of uncomfortable, but a very, very great film, and I will actually review that for you as well. I'll try to upload the video sometime soon, but that'll be my next review. But as of now, I'm going to be talking about The Lobster, because it's great. The Lobster, if you guys have not heard about this movie, oh boy! Basically, the film follows a man, and this man has to go to a hotel for 45 days, and basically what happens is he has to find his true love. He has to, you know, find somebody that he can love, so then that way, you know, they can live happily ever after and whatnot. But if he does not find a true love within that span of 45 days, then he is going to be turned into an animal and be released into the woods. And but, you know, they're nice to him, so they give him, like, you know, a choice, you know, of what animal that he wants to be. And he says he wants to be a lobster, because they live to be over 100 years old, and they're blue-blooded, and they're just great, you know, animals. So, if he doesn't find a true love within 45 days at this hotel, then he's going to be turned into a lobster and released into the woods, as with all these other people with whatever animal they want to be. So yeah, that's the story of The Lobster. This movie's great! It's great. I loved it. It was pretty good. One of the best, probably one of the best movies I've seen this year. I've been watching a lot of really good movies lately. I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm very happy, because pretty much every movie I've watched, you know, this past week has been great. And, yeah, so Lobster's just one of them. I really don't know how to describe this movie to you. I think the best way to describe this movie is that it made me laugh, and it made me want to kill myself all at the same time. And I kind of loved it. I must say, this movie is not, you're not going to have a fun time watching this movie. It's not the most, you know, happy-go-lucky movie out there. You're definitely going to feel bad, you know. It's not a very, you know, lighthearted movie. It's actually kind of depressing at some parts, very depressing, but it's also kind of funny at some parts. John C. Reilly's also in this film, and he pretty much just plays Dr. Steve Brule. You know, that's his character in this movie, so Dr. Steve Brule's in this movie. But yeah, you have a lot of, you know, actors and actresses in this film, and they all do a very good job, you know. There's a lot of characters which I really like. They go in-depth with a lot of the characters at this hotel and whatnot, and yeah, I really like that part, because, you know, you get a little insight on all the characters, and you know what they're up to, and you know what animal they want to be, so, you know, it's just kind of like a fun little movie, you know. It's I shouldn't say fun, actually. That was the wrong word. It's not fun watching this movie. Like I said, it's very depressing, and at some parts it's even very hard to sit through. But that does not mean that it's not a great film, because it is a great film. It's very, very great. First of all, this movie is very, very well made. Extremely well made. Very well directed, too. Yorgos definitely, you know, has a way of making films. He's a great filmmaker. I love Dogtooth. Alps was alright, and I now love The Lobster, and it might be my favorite movie of his now. But yeah, there were definitely some parts in this movie that were very disturbing, that you don't expect to be disturbing, and they're just very uncomfortable to sit through. And what's funny is that my theater was full of a bunch of old people, and they went into this movie probably expecting some quirky romantic comedy, which this movie is not at all. And yeah, so they're just kind of watching this movie, and then all that disturbing shit pops up, and they're like, oh my god, what am I watching? Oh, Henry, we gotta go! But no, there was actually a lot of old people in this theater, and it was really fun watching them, because they were just kind of like squirming in their seats at some part, and you kept hearing them go, ooh, oh my god, I don't want to see that. You they didn't know what they were getting into. That's great. And that's kind of what this movie does. You don't know what you're getting into, and what you're getting into is really not what you expect at all, and it's fantastic. But yeah, this movie's great, although I do have some minor nitpicks with it. First and foremost, every single scene within the hotel I loved. Like, that movie was perfect for me. That whole part of the film was perfect. You know, if that were the whole movie, I would have given it but there are some parts in it, you know, especially towards the second to third act, that I thought kind of dragged on, and that just felt like it was a little, you know, didn't need to be there. Here, I'll say this. I love the first hour of this film. The first hour was great. The second hour, there's a point where I got a little bored, and I was like, okay, I get it. I get what you're doing. I'm bored, and I want something to happen. And there's not a lot that happens in the last act of this film. Not that that's a bad thing. There's also a lot of other parts, though, that I really, really loved. Especially in the first half, but also in the second half, you know? There's definitely some moments in the second half that I really, really loved. This is by no means a perfect movie, but it's definitely one of the best I've seen this year. Yeah, as you can probably tell, this movie's very, very quirky and just weird and strange, and just a lot of it sometimes doesn't make sense, but that's okay, because, you know, it's just one of those movies where it can do whatever the hell it wants, and it doesn't care what you think about it. So that's what I love about The Lobster. Overall, I'd probably give The Lobster, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. Holy crap. I've been giving a lot of movies 4.5 out of 5s lately. I feel like I'm annoying you guys with all these 4.5 out of 5s. This is probably, like, the rating I give to most movies, actually. 4.5 out of 5. I really love movies, man. I don't know. And the thing is, not all of them are perfect movies, you know, they have little nitpicks that I have with them, but, you know, so it's always like a 4 and a 4.5 out of 5. It's just, I always give this rating, and I'm sick of it. Like, why can't a movie just be a 5 or a 4? Like, I don't want 4.5 out of 5s anymore. I want to stop doing this. Stop being so good! Movies. Yeah, guys, The Lobster, check it out. It's great. Yorgos Lanthimos does a great job with, you know, making this movie. It's great. I loved it. I would, oh, no, I wouldn't, actually. It's very hard to recommend this movie to you. Depends on the kind of person you are. If you're the average moviegoer going into this movie thinking, I'm about to watch some, you know, quirky romantic comedy, no. No. But if you are the ultimate moviegoer, you know, the ultimate film enthusiast, then yeah, chances are you're probably going to really like this film. I would definitely give it a watch if that is the case, and yeah, I would recommend The Lobster in that case. But if you are the average moviegoer who, you know, likes the Avengers and Star Wars, then no, don't watch The Lobster. Please don't watch The Lobster, you'll hate it. But yeah, guys, that's about it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. I am Jacob Palacio, and I will see you guys later.